So, hello everybody. Welcome back to Breaking Points. We're gonna start the episode there. Welcome back to Breaking Points. Uh, Giving you motorsport coverage beyond the checkered flag. Except this podcast specifically, just NASCAR coverage beyond the checkered flag. We are talking about the new championship format. Someone in chat said Kyle Busch is my father.
Winner is decided by rock, paper, scissors. That better be the format.
Oh my god. I love reading these. And I'm in two different things. I'm in a Discord that's also freaking out right now, and they're blowing up.
In this start, man,
No, yeah.
please, 3:30.
Well, we need Gabe here. We need to start sexing late.
I'm just gonna do it now.
Okay. Oh, wait, he's here.
Get him, please. Give her.
Get him. Get in here.
Even chat is saying late.
Should I do the intro before this one? I'm just not realizing that. If this is gonna be like our thing.
If we're doing an uncut live reaction, that's fine.
Okay, I'm gonna do a live uncut reaction. Possibly. And then we're just gonna be so disappointed if it's wrong. Um, yeah. Gabe, you need a light on. You are just a shadow.
Can you hear it now?
There we go. We're good. Yep.
It's gonna be a 10 race chase, I think.
I know. I'll add the intro in later.
Okay.
Oh, and Carson Hosfar also just added to his Twitch story. I need to know what this is. What are the odds it's spoiled already? Oh no. He's going live tonight, guys. That's something to
Nice.
look forward to. The fact that it's all Jimmy Johnson basically makes me think that it's gonna be the Chase 10.
Yeah, I mean, these are all chase. Actually, no, they're not all chase clips. I mean, I saw an Elliott clip in there.
I saw a Blaney clip too.
Oh,
Hey everybody, welcome. I'm Adam Alexander. I watched that video. I think about the fact that the Daytona 500 is just over a month away. And when you think about today's announcement, all the energy and excitement that's going to bring, this is no doubt a historic day for NASCAR. Before I introduce our panel and today's announcement, I want to say a special welcome to all those watching on YouTube, the NASCAR channel, and listening on Sirius
oh my God.
NASCAR Radio. Let's get to the announcement, and Steve O'Donnell, take it away and tell us all about the championship format in 2026.
Well, thank you, Adam, and appreciate everybody being here as well. I do want to take a minute. This is the first time we've been in front of the media and been able to talk to some folks, and want to let everyone know we're still thinking about
Get to the point.
and all those involved in that tragic plane crash, and also Denny Hamlin, the loss of his dad. We're all praying for his mom with a speedy recovery. Denny was a big part of today's announcement, put a lot of work into it. He's been a big part of the formats, and we're thinking about him and really appreciate him as well. So you got a great group here, some of which who are involved in coming up with this format. And just kind of a quick history of how we got to where we were. Tim Clark headed up a group that included a number of folks from the industry,
Oh my God.
drivers, television partners, and a lot of sponsors to talk about what we could do going forward with our championship format. And there were a couple things that were vitally important, I think, to everyone in the group. One was that winning still had to matter. We had to make sure that that was what we were doing. We certainly wanted consistency to matter, not lost on us that throughout what we've seen with the current format, there were times when a driver could win and maybe take a couple races because he had that win in the bank. That's not something we wanted. We wanted every race to matter, so both of those needed to be front and center. And then we also wanted our fans to know that we're listening, and our industry to know that we're listening. So with that, where we've landed is candidly that the chase is back.
There it is.
Back to a format where on the Cup side, the first 26 races will be based on points system, and the final 10 races will make up the chase. So if you go into how the
16 drivers.
so the points leader
16.
to the chase
Wow.
Wasn't it supposed to be 12?
is important
Usually.
to have
Oh,
a bonus.
No winning, you're in.
You'll have a 25-point lead over second place and a 35 5-point
Poor
lead
SVG.
place, and then the positions beyond that will go down by 5 points.
No more winning in. That's
So
W.
it's really important for the group that got together, talked about that, and we're going to take winning from 40 points up to 55
Ooh.
points.
Wow.
Be a great incentive for
Wow.
That I like that.
go out
I
there,
think.
but also go for
Okay.
wins. And while I have a minute too, I want to take a moment to thank Mark for coming from his vacation. I know it's a long trip from out west. Mark Martin was the first guy in the room to stand up and say, I want to go back to full season points. There were a lot of folks who wanted to throw Mark out of the room initially. But what Mark did was got us to a position where what's the right balance? And the balance between those who like to playoff and those who like that full season points. And we believe we've struck that balance. We've got the best of both worlds where every race matters. We've talked to a lot of folks in the industry. We've run a lot of different models.
The drivers don't want to be there at all.
I mean, when has Chase Elliott ever wanted to do media?
I'm talking about Chase Briscoe. I mean, look at him.
I know, but I'm saying like none of them probably want to be there.
They look like they're miserable. They just got off like a 10-hour long haul flight just to hurry back here, and they're like half doozing off, half trying to stay awake, like
From
you're in a
where?
lecture, like you're in
Where
a
are they
lecture.
going?
Is here from Team Penske, driver of the number 12, and Chase Elliott, driver of the number 9 from Hendrick Motorsports. It seems appropriate to have two guys on the panel named Chase, I believe. I want to go around and get the reaction of all of you on today's
That's rough.
I'm posting this on our story.
Yeah, I think that
Go at us at Breaking Points. What is our Instagram handle?
I was really excited to hear
Uh,
the news that we were.
I think it's
we're kinda
breaking
getting
underscore
a bit
points.
Closer to a full 36
Yeah, add us at
Nine.
Breaking_points on Instagram.
Yet, without going all
We're
the
gonna
way.
have a 9-race
I
chase
believe
for
it was,
O'Reillys and 7 race for trucks.
I'm
12 drivers for O'Reilly, 10 for trucks.
I'm compelled to plug in every single week.
I don't
because
like the idea of a Chase 7, but I guess we'll deal with it. But yay, Chase 10. I'm happy with that. I like that.
I'm fine with it. You know, I think my immediate reaction right now is that 16 drivers is too much.
I think they're also trying to keep it up with like the playoffs because there were 16 drivers in the playoffs. So that could potentially be why. But I like the Chase 10. I'm biased though. I've been very clear about my love for the Chase 10. I wrote an op-ed on it. I left the sport when they left the Chase 10, and I got back right before. So I like it. I think it's a nice change. I do wanted to have seen the 3-3-4 and see how that could have gone. I feel like that could be cool. But obviously they've got back to the Chase 10. I do like the no longer winning you're in.
Yeah,
I do like that.
That is great.
Love to see that. Even if it may negatively impact my driver, I do not care. He's got to get better on ovals. That's where it's at. So, anyways.
50, I think 55 points for a race win might be a lot. I'm not gonna lie. That's my underlying opinion.
I was gonna say, I didn't see, is that like just for winning the race? Because I know the most you could win in a single weekend was like 61. We talked about that. I talked about it with Dan.
But now you get more, you get more points, you get stage points, and so the maximum you get is 76.
Closer to 70? Yeah.
76 in one weekend. So I don't know how that impacts everything, but it's.
I mean, I think it makes the races more like you need to watch them to see what happens because there's more on the line. Because that means it could, in theory, be anyone's race at that point if we're going into the chase format. Because I think first and second was separated by 25 points. So a 75, 76 point swing in one race It can genuinely impact where you place in the top 16. So I
True.
kind of think it works. At least first impression, I think it works. Second impression, ask me again tomorrow.
Yeah,
I
that's
won't know.
pretty much where I'm at right now as well.
Yeah.
I think there's gonna be more details coming out later on. But yeah, I I don't see anything other than that. That's the only two things I see.
Yeah. So, hello everybody. Welcome back to Breaking Points. We're gonna start the episode there. Welcome back to Breaking Points. Giving you motorsport coverage beyond the checkered flag. Except this podcast specifically, just NASCAR coverage beyond the checkered flag. We are talking about the new championship format. I don't have any breaking news other than the new format. Or if there is, I kind of just got it swept under the rug by that. Oops. My bad. Actually, did y'all see the crash at the Chili Bowl? Not to quickly change the topics. I sent a video in our chat about it. Someone totally flipped during the Chili Bowl practice, and it was insane.
Yeah, there's probably going to be about 40 more of those crashes throughout the
I need to
weekend.
watch the Chili Bowl. I need to watch the Chili Bowl. I really do at this point.
Yeah, Corey LaJoy.
Oh,
The Corey LaJoy news.
oh yeah, Corey LaJoy is going to be entering in the Clash in place of Brad Keselowski, who is still injured. From back in December, it was a skiing accident. Ouch! I almost just said a joke, and I can't. What's with drivers?
What's with drivers going skiing all the time, dude?
That's what. Okay, I was gonna make a joke because the way that I found out was that it was on Tumblr actually. I'm about to expose myself. I am on Tumblr. Do not find me. But someone said, "What is with drivers?" And Chase Ellioting their way at every ski resort. Because there's at least 2 other drivers that have done it that I know of for a fact. There was Brent Cruz earlier, and then there was Brad Keselowski. And that's just in December alone. / November. I think it was late November for Brent Cruz. But I don't think Chase Elliott should be a ski instructor, is my point here. Sorry. But yeah, so Corey LaJoy will be in the number 6 at the Clash. Not Daytona though. Oh, what's the other one?
Oh, one more thing. Yeah, I'm sorry. Noah Gragson has a new crew chief.
Yeah. He has like a whole new team.
Yeah, former Team Penske engineer Grant Hutchins will be Gragson's crew chief. So new guy on the job. The last guy, I can't pronounce his last name. I'll just call him Drew. Mr. Drew will be going to race director. I think that's it. He'll step back from being crew chief for the meantime. In the meantime, damn.
Nice. I know, you know what? I'm never going to have another opportunity to mention this on the podcast because we probably won't do the idea that I had. I still want to know the context of why Noah Gragson was getting canceled because he allegedly dyed his hair. That was, yeah, I saw this like a year ago. It's so funny. Because I was like, oh, what are some of the things that drivers were hated for? And we were going to do like a whole podcast episode on it. And it said like the top one was Noah Gragson was hated because he dyed his hair.
That is not why Noah Gragson's hated.
I was like, there's other reasons. I know there is. Because I also saw another one that was Joey Logano because he's bald. And I'm like, what? I get it. It looks slightly unsettling, and a lot of people thought it was AI. but that's definitely not the reason. I can guarantee it. So Sean, why don't you tell us why Noah Gragson is actually hated?
Well,
All
yeah,
jokes, of course.
yeah. I mean, I'm personally fine with Noah. It's just, in the lower series, he definitely rubbed a lot of people the wrong way coming up through the ladder. He had a sort of entitled attitude, is the best way I would describe it, in the truck series. Then when he got to the Xfinity series, a lot of his antics continued with a lot of dirty driving and straight up intentional right hooks. And I think in Atlanta 2021, he backed into Daniel Hemrick in pit road while they were servicing his car. So it was he's done a lot of very dangerous actions just out of angry impulse. And he's definitely refined that over time, but that's definitely a part of the reason fans don't look at him as positively.
And see, that makes sense. Allegedly dyeing your hair, not exactly. I don't get it. I don't even know why that was the top reason either. Or the top hatred in NASCAR. Like, I was like, there's definitely people hated a lot more drivers than that. And like Noah Gragson is not one of them. But I can understand that one. So, this episode, do we just want to kind of talk about the Chase 10? Because we have like our initial reactions to it. Now, do we actually kind of want to talk about like what it is? I can look up stuff too. Because they gotta have something up. Actually, time out.
Yeah, they do. Basically, the Chase 10 brings back the format for the most part used from 2004 to 2013. Notable difference is that the points for a winner have increased from 40 to 55. Winning your in is gone, and it's a Chase 16 instead of 10 plus 2 wildcard spots for
Wait, I thought it was 10 race.
for a number of drivers.
Do I have the stupid? This whole time I thought it was the Chase 10 because it was the chase for the last 10 races.
Yeah.
I mean, am I wrong? That is also logical.
I mean, yeah, that is logical, but that's not the popular thing to say.
Bro, let me out of here. There's no way.
Either
See?
way,
No.
I know my initial reaction. Hold on, before I even talk about opinions, there's more to it. When it comes to the way points will be distributed, like seating basically for the Chase 16, I just had it up. So per the NASCAR.com website, the points will be reset for each series chase field with a 25-point premium for the regular season champion. Top seeds will start the chase at 2100, 2075, and 2065 for the top three. And then any position after that is a 5-point drop following. And I know Gabriel said it earlier, but I'll say it again. The number of races for the O'Reilly Auto Parts series is 9, and it's 7 for the Craftsman Truck series. And notably, the amount of drivers in each format that qualify remains the same. So it's 16 for Cup, 12 for O'Reilly, and 10 for Craftsman Truck.
I'm still not getting over the fact that it's a Chase 10 and it's actually a Chase 16. My brain is melting, dog. I'm not gonna lie. And then I looked over and it says Ty Dillon is gonna drive the number 10. And that is completely wrong. I'm
What?
so confused. It says that Ty Dillon is driving the number 10 in the truck series, and I'm like, I don't think so.
He might be doing some part-time deal kind of thing.
Oh no, it says full time. So I think AI is just being stupid because that's the top of when you look up NASCAR Chase 10. And that was the first thing that came up.
See.
AI is destroying everything, guys. Don't take it. Don't listen to it. It's wrong.
Ross Chastain is maxing out his Craftsman Truck Series starts this year too at 8 races, I think, for Nice Motorsports. That's the only other piece of news I think hasn't been mentioned yet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But no one else has been announced yet either, which is sucky because we are sub 20 days until the Clash now, officially.
Yeah. I mean, the Cup grid is basically arranged, so I guess it's not that surprising for the lower series quite yet. I think come back in 2 weeks, we'll have a better understanding for at least the O'Reilly Auto Parts series. The Truck series, God, when I wrote the where drivers are moving piece for the 2025 season, I decided to do that 2 weeks before Daytona, and it ended up being completely wrong for two teams because they announced things at the last minute.
Ugh. Why do people have to do this? Why do they have to do that? That's so boring. Hendrick Motorsports posted that NASCAR is bringing back the chase 2 hours ago.
They did.
Yeah. So it's been out there, but apparently no one knew about it. Unless you get notified. I don't get notified from Hendrick Motorsports. So hey, actually, you know what that means then? Homestead is not the one race championship anymore. So I still get bragging rights. Sorry.
It goes back to its rightful spot as the chase finale.
I mean, that makes sense though. It kind of does. But we still get the one race finale. Any publicity is good publicity. We know that. Anyways, what else do we want to talk about on this episode?
You know, I know that they just announced a new format and such, but I really would have liked to see O'Reilly and Truck Series do just full season because I feel like the chase for those two series and how short it is feels redundant. And I feel like, especially with the Truck Series at 7 races, I have a gut feeling we're going to run into the same issue still. Even despite a dominant driver, there's still going to be a falter in the last, like with a 7 race sample size, if you falter in those last 3 races, despite dominating the first 23 or sorry, 19, you could still lose the title feasibly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
valid.
And a 100-point lead is not that much. Let's be honest. Like
No.
you're 25 points away from second place, but like even if you're 100 points from the 16th place driver, right? One race, if the guy placed seated 16th, right, he wins a race, sweeps it, right? Hypothetically, doesn't happen that often, but hypothetically, he sweeps it all. That's 76 points. He just catches up. He's within 25 points, and then a few more races, and you lose that lead. So like, I think my sentiment is I agree that like they shouldn't like do the same thing as the cup, but I kind of want to see like a different format for each series. So like let's say Cup does the chase, O'Reilly does the 334, and then like the trucks does the full season. So you see a little bit of each, and then you see like, oh, which one does better, you know?
That would be so fun to write about a different format for every series. That would be so fun. I feel like I would then also mix up series all the time. So that would also suck.
Yeah, no, I'm on the boat of it sucking. That would suck. Well, I mean,
But it would be funny.
the idea was,
That would suck for us.
yeah, I was
It
about to
would
say,
suck
it
for
would,
us, but it would be fun as the watcher.
yeah, yeah,
It'd be funny. But us, we'd probably mix it up. Because there's not one format we could write an article on.
yeah. I mean, with the Truck Series, Yeah, no, my general sentiment remains there that I think the trucks definitely should have been full season, especially because the season's already short enough. And the playoffs as is start in like July or early August. Or last season they did. And I
I was
guarantee
gonna
it's
say, I
the
thought it
same.
was halfway. I thought it was halfway through August.
Either way, that is much too early to have a
True.
postseason, especially for such a short schedule with month-long breaks occasionally.
I like that though. But they're probably just also testing it out for this year. They might do something next year, potentially.
Fingers
Or
crossed.
we just get the new announcement of the format and we're like, they'll probably change it again next year, guys. Fingers crossed they'll change it next year. We haven't even seen a race yet. We don't have cars on tracks yet. We are just hypothetically speaking in this very moment. But yeah, I think 7 races. 7 races just doesn't sound right. It's an odd number. I don't like it.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why it should be 9 for O'Reilly's. Why not just make it 10 as usual? You know, that's just my sentiment. You know, like
Oh.
just one less race. Like, well, why? Por quoi? You know,
I was gonna
that's
say, it
that's my
doesn't.
question.
Isn't there like one race where O'Reilly's doesn't go, but Trucks goes with Cup Series? I feel like there's one in that last span where Cup and O'Reilly's is there, and then there's one week where it's Cup and Trucks.
I think it's earlier
Vegas?
in the playoffs. Like,
St. Petersburg.
That's literally at the beginning of the season. That's not in the playoffs.
Well, okay. Well, sorry.
I'm talking in the playoffs. There's Darlington, uh, Worldwide, Tech Center, Bristol. I know it's not Bristol because I know all three of them are there because I'm gonna be there and I got tickets for all three. Kansas, Vegas, the Roval, which I highly doubt, and then Phoenix, Dega, Martinsville. Obviously not Miami.
they didn't go to Darlington.
Who,
I don't think
O'Reilly?
O'Reilly's, yeah, last year.
So then maybe that's why.
They went to Portland instead. That's the
Hmm.
that's
Maybe
this
that's the
thing.
thing then. Instead of
Yeah,
doing
that's probably.
Darlington, they go to Portland.
But Portland's off the hook. So,
Oh,
and
Portland's
then they
not
went
there. Yeah.
to they went to Gateway with Cup, and then they went to Bristol with Cup. Yes, and then they skipped New Hampshire. Yeah, that's what they skipped. They skipped New Hampshire, and then came back with Kansas. Did they go to Charlotte?
I was
Yes,
gonna
they
say New
did.
Hampshire's not on here.
Yeah, I think they don't go to New Hampshire. That was what was missing because I remember last year O'Reilly's playoffs started in Bristol, I think, and it was Kansas, Roval, and then Vegas, Dega, Martinsville, Phoenix.
Wait, then they're not going to Vegas. Because Cup's doing Vegas. In between Kansas and Roval. So maybe that's the race. Maybe that's the one race that they're skipping.
Yeah,
I don't
trucks aren't
know.
at Vegas.
That's interesting.
Anyways, we're all still learning. Obviously, this was literally just announced as we started filming. So, apologies that we don't have the most up to date information, guys. We're learning. Give us a break. But either way, I'm excited to see a difference.
It's rough though. I think I don't know what I think about the 55 points either ways. Like because the second place, third place, they still stick with 35, 34 and so forth. it's just weird to me. I'm I'm not gonna say it's bad right now because I don't see it. I haven't seen it in action, but it's just a little bit weird for me. That's my 2 cents on that.
I mean, it's clear why they
But
they
yeah,
decided to do it because I mean they wanted winning your end. Like Steve O'Donnell said in that video to still somewhat be there, but not be as disadvantageous for those guys who are, sort of like a Chris Bush or a Ryan Priest, can't win, but you're remarkably consistent. That's a fine balance between those who can maybe take a clutch win and still get their way into the conversation for the 16th spot. So I guess in a way, winning your in for the midfield, and especially with how close it is nowadays with the next gen car, it kind of already is winning your in with the points increase if you somehow upset a win. Obviously, not entirely. Like if you're 31st, a long ways off from the lead, you're not gonna win a race and get into the conversation. But if you have a season like Zane Smith last year, a win would propel you probably into the bubble there.
yeah, but there's the one the one more concern is that would we see more of like the Austin Dillon enrichment thing happen more often? I don't. I feel like I'm beating I'm beating a dead horse here, and I'm just like constantly bringing the same thing up, but like I'm kind of over it. I'm not. I don't want to just bring up stuff, but like would we see that happen? Like people like, yo, you get like 20 extra points out of the race. Now I'm in second place. I'm right. I'm in your rear right quarter panel. So like I might just hook your ass and then I'm just gonna do a hit and run. You know? Who
Censor.
knows? Oh, I get censored again. Oh man. But that's the thing, right? Am I gonna hook like when you're like there's 2 laps to go and you're right up alongside him, but you just can't finish the move, right? And then what's going through like certain drivers' mind will say like, oh, I don't know, maybe, you know, do I just punt and run, do a hit and run, do a classic Kevin Harvick, and I don't know. I don't know. It opens up a lot of questions of like how far would a driver go to get that extra 20 points as the season comes down to it. Like as a like let's say you're I don't know, Chris Bush or Ryan Priest, you're hanging on you're like let's say you're at I don't know. I don't know where you're at. You're like um what is what's the second last race of the regular season?
Regular
Let me double
season?
check.
I was gonna say I've got it up, but I've also
Uh,
got a point. Second to last for
Yeah,
Cup Series is New Hampshire.
New Hampshire. Let's say you're in the quarter panel. Let's say it's Ryan Priest and Chris Buescher. Just a hypothetical situation. Buescher is in the playoffs, 10 points ahead of Ryan Priest. Ryan Priest is in second place. Buescher's in first place. They're side by side going into each turn, but Buescher always comes out first. So does Ryan Priest hook his teammate and get his way into the playoffs? Does he? Now, again, that's a hypothetical situation. Not saying Ryan Priest is a person who would do that. Not saying that would happen at all, right? I'm just saying, I'm just putting up a hypothetical situation. But do you do that? Like, that just raises a lot of questions. And if someone does that, how do you respond to it as like an organization, right? Like NASCAR, how do you respond to that? Like, is it a dirty move? Do you disqualify the guy? Do you do whatever? Like, that's just like, it just, it's just a question for me, you know?
I
I was
mean,
gonna say,
oh,
nope,
sorry,
go
you can
ahead.
go.
Okay. Actually, is yours specifically on this? Because mine's more about the points question.
Yeah, you can go.
I don't know if the points are changing for every race. I think it's just for the reset. because I'm not seeing anything about the points for every race changing, but I am seeing the chase points will be seeded as first place gets 100 over 16th place, and
It
it's
says
descending.
race winners now collect 55 points.
Okay, that's where that's coming from. Okay. Because I was like, is this coming from. Because we keep saying 25 points over second place. And I'm like, is this the chase one or is this the other one? So obviously
I
it's the other one.
To your point, I think without the playoffs now, if a Richmond situation happens again, um, it's easier to penalize to an extent because if you right hook a guy for a win, I mean, whether or not it's for a playoff spot or not, it's still a right hook into the wall. And instead of having to wait until midweek to decide whether or not Austin Dillon qualifies for the postseason, we, wait a day or two for Ryan Priest to get a points penalty, and then that will be that.
Oh, no more. I don't think there's any more fastest lap point. I'm looking at the
No.
I'm looking at the live stream. They say the maximum points for a weekend is 75.
No, NASCAR's becoming European. It's taking influence from Formula One. It's fine. I'm fine. We'll live. Anyways, we'll see how it goes during the season, but we won't know anything until Daytona, technically, because the Clash is always crazy. And it's obviously a non-points paying race. So, anything else we want to talk about on this episode? Or we can do a short episode, honestly.
Or is fine by me.
Cool.
Thank
Gabe, it's your turn. We have 19 days until the Clash.
You don't gotta do anything weird. Keep in mind that we're free.
All right, all right, all right. There's 19 days to the Clash. Racing is so close to be back. Honestly, a mixed feedback for the new format, but only time can tell. And we'll find out how it goes when it's Daytona, which is in how many days?
19 plus 7, basically.
26.
That.
26 days. The engineering student can't do math. Unfortunately for you. Well, stay tuned for next week's episode. I don't know what we're gonna talk about, but we're gonna talk about something. See you then. Goodbye.
Wait, 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 wait. I'm not riding every single driver on this, regardless. There's so many drivers. I'm not riding every driver on this freaking thing.
That is what I did last year, all right.
Well, we're not there last year.
All right, the race is in the group chat.
Pre-2013
What?
or 2014.
Not pre-2013.
Bro, I haven't even opened it yet.
Pre-2014. Definitely pre-2014. Because I know it's... Wait, hold up. If it's not pre-2013, then it is 2013.
It is 2013.
All right, all right, all right. Denny. Denny wins at short track, so this is either Bristol, Martinsville, or Richmond.
Pocono.
No. No.
Shit.
Not short tracks. Rough.
This was the only race Hamlin won all year.
And it's not short track.
Correct.
Daytona.
No.
He's never won in Daytona. I don't think he's ever won in Daytona, no.
He's won the 500 3 times.
Oh my goodness. I'm thinking of the wrong driver. All right, yeah. Look, not Logano. Freaking Larson never won in Daytona. That's the one.
Yeah.
Um, I'll give you a
Um,
hint that'll maybe guide you toward it. What do you think the highlighted green names mean?
What?
Playoffs. I mean Chase.
Correct.
Um,
Towards the end of the season? What's towards the end of the season?
he said Bristol already, didn't he?
Yeah. Bristol
And you
wasn't
said
in
no.
the
Yeah, I'm aware.
what chasing.
Dayton.
Phoenix.
No.
Shit. I already said Dayton. Oh wait, no, I said Daytona. My bad. I said a different bigger track, bro.
Oh, man.
Miami.
Yes. It's Homestead.
What?
Yes. Homestead,
One.
the only race Hamlin won all year because he was battling back injuries and being mid all season. And this is significant because this is when Johnson won a sixth title, but mainly significant today because this was the, as of today, last race in the chase format.
Yo. That's crazy.
I got one.
Hold up. Hold up.
I'm proud of myself.
This was Jimmy Johnson's sixth title
Yes.
in ninth place. Oh my days.
Yeah, because he did that thing where he'd like win once or early in the season and just kind of cruise along for the rest of it and then really turn it up. All he had to do was make sure Kenseth didn't win, and Kenseth barely lost to his teammate, no less.
What?
And he was on
Why
pole
didn't?
too.
Oh my goodness. This
That's
is like this is the place where I think I kind of want to say it, but I know the history that I kind of
Say it.
here's the thing. I want team orders here that say like just let Kansas Patrick and get the damn title. But like I
Papaya.
remember there were like I think it was 14 or 15 where like team orders got way out of control and then
It,
they banned it.
it was literally like this year, like not this year, but 2013. Um, but in the playoff cutoff, when they had Boyer spin intentionally to get Truex into the playoffs or a chase, and then they took away Truex's spot and gave it back to Newman, but then also added a 13th spot for Jeff Gordon.
Rough.
Two things.
Yeah.
One, Crashgate. Two, funny enough, did you guys know that there's a one of one Jeff Gordon like card? Like a trading card?
What?
They just did this. It's like an autographed one of one trading card for Jeff Gordon. And it's honestly it looks like a wallet. Like it does not look like no trading card. Like you have to fold this thing out. I mean, I should
Damn,
probably
they have
look more
bald
on this.
Logano on the live stream.
Bald
That
Gano?
man's head is balder than like freaking. Oh my goodness. It was a freaking jump scare too. Like it suddenly like panned to him, but it suddenly cut to him, and it was like a close
You're
up
still
shot.
watching it? You're
Yeah,
still
no,
watching the live stream?
it's on my TV, so I just have it on. But it was a jump scare, and they're like, holy shit! I was like, damn. Oh, and I think
Ah.
Corey Haim's gonna run a part-time schedule in 23-11.
Oh, I think so. Ah, he is there.
Yeah, I think that's what I saw from
He chased
Bob.
the hair right off his head. This chat is freaking wild. Joey's more aerodynamic. Watch out.
Impeccable stash though. Not gonna lie.
my god. It's a nice stash. I will admit that it's a nice stash. White chocolate milk dud. Wait, what? Why does it say first under my sister? Did you add my sister on LinkedIn?
Did I? Yes, I did. To be fair, in all fairness, she reached out to me, FYI.
Did
I'm
you
just trying
write
to look
that
at-
up while we were in here?
Yeah.
Love that for you. Oh, Jimmy Johnson's on there. My boy.